It made me feel really happy. But this is a great launch for this time of year because it features the sunshine quite a bit. It's got all of our favourite hobbies and sports within there, and that we love to watch throughout the summer. So are you ready for a brand new Deco-Large collection? We know how popular our Deco-Large collections is, and this one we think is going to be so popular because of the themes, the artwork that's in here. You're going to know people that you're going to send these cards to. But before we look at that, let's have a look at this week's Win It Weekly. We were just having a conversation about the Win It Weekly question, actually. We'll let you have a look at the question first because this week 2 lucky winners are going to win, and it's a whopper, our Prism Brush Markers Ultimate Collection. You're going to get the Heavenly Sunset, we've got our Berry Burst, our Blue Lagoon and our Forest Walk, all 4 of these pens. That's 48 pens in total, and remember you've got that brush nib and that fine liner nib, and we're giving you the handbook. All of this, 2 lucky winners. Like, share and comment. What is the official dish of the King's coronation? A, quiche, B, cake, or C, curry? Now, I was just saying I had a dream about this question. Weirdly, I don't even know how I was there. I was in a fancy building in London. The King was obviously there, and I asked him the question, why is it quiche? Is it because you like quiche? And then we had a little family photo shoot.
But you also asked him, was it cake or curry?
No, I didn't, because I know that I know what the answer is. We know what the answer is. We've already discussed. Everyone knows what the answer is.
Okay.
We said it yesterday. me and Kelly said yesterday.
Okay,
we know what the answer is. We told everyone, don't worry, it's not the first time I've ruined the question.
Okay.
But yeah, I said why? Why is it this? But you know what? No one is even guessing cake or curry because everyone knows it's probably the most marketed thing that I've seen in the last maybe like 2 weeks. It's been on the radio, it's been on photographs, it's been on the telly. I mean, it's crazy. But yeah, I asked him why and had a little photo shoot. But if I didn't get an answer because I must have woken up or something. But if you want to win these fantastic pens and your handbook, you need to comment the right answer, and then we will find out who those lucky winners are on Friday's show. Got my bank holidays mixed up then. Okay, today's a whopper of a show. Have a look at this little VT and we're going to run you through absolutely everything. So many people in the comments are saying that it's hilarious that I've told everyone the answer, but it's true, everyone knows. Plus, that's a wicked Win It Weekly. You need to be with a chance of winning that. I'm just helping you out along the way. So today's massive bundle is our huge brand new Sports and Hobbies Designer Deco-Large Ultimate Collection. Look how big this is. It's a whopper. The price is £39.97, but across everything you're getting here, you're saving a huge £10. And this collection is crazy. It includes Deco-Large, it's going to include your base layers, your element sheets, your coordinating cardstock. You're getting all your inserts within here. And you're going to get your 144 page little book. That is 252 sheets in total for you to be crafting along with. That is absolutely incredible. We're going to start you off with the main big piece of this collection, which is that wonderful Deco-Large. Now this allows you to create a minimum of 24 fantastic cards. You got that beautiful inspiration sheet there with inspiration for how you can be crafting with this collection when you get it home. And we're starting off with my least favourite sport of the week, football. And it's a really, really fun piece. We've gone for sort of like the red and the blue there, which we were discussing, me and Adam, is probably the most common football colours that we have. And you've got so many fun sentiments on here. We've got man of the match, we've got birthday champ, and then at the bottom it says have a ball on your special day. You've got that beautiful shaped frame within this one, and then you've got all your decollage layers, 2 of each there, and then this phenomenal cardstock. Reminds me very much of watching Ted Lasso, this with that really cool sort of crowd background within there, and it makes up beautifully. We've got a lovely Z-fold card here showing how you can use this totally differently. Look at how much dimension is on that though. Those layers, and there's still about 3 layers missing from this one because we've placed it directly on the cardstock to give you a really fun look there. So we've got that one. We've got my second favourite one, which is walking to the pub with the dog. This one's really, really nice. This is your Riverside Walk decollage. You've got borders, you've got those gorgeous corner pieces within there as well. Your sentiments are wishing you the most wonderful retirement, and then on your on your element sheets as well, you've also got have a lovely day. A really, really nice imagery in that gorgeous bracket label shape. We've got a beautiful sort of L-shaped border that runs across the side and the bottom of this one, and then it goes into that beautiful cloud design. This one makes up really, really lovely cards. We've got this one here with that acetate front, just making a really small card with your decollage. Then we've got the guitar player here. This one's quite fun actually, and I think it works really nicely for sort of younger children. So we've got just for you, happy birthday, and let the good times roll. So those sort of teenager, maybe like 10 to 18, where you really kind of struggle with what type of themes of cards are going to work for them, then this one's going to be perfect. And again, a really great layout from your cardstock, because we could be fussy cutting out around that piece, creating a fold back, and then layering up some elements onto our cardstock, and then also onto the design. And this one is really, really, really fun. Jane's made this wonderful card which mirrors the shape of that topper, but look at how many layers we have on this cardstock. It's phenomenal. We've got cricket coming up next for you. Cricket season has just begun. I only know that because we have a friend who plays cricket. And he's just sort of like started going back to training. So Sunday fun days are out of the window for us now because he is unavailable. He will be in his whites for the rest of the summer. But this one's really fun. I mean, there's so many people that we know that love cricket, isn't it? And I also think as well that this is great because it could also be sent to maybe a female cricketer or someone who loves cricket in that way. I mean, Bex would love this card, wouldn't she? She loves her cricket. So you've got that really nice, again, bracket label shape on here. The design of the cardstock runs all the way down, giving you so much space and opportunity for actually layering your base layers onto that. Look at that dimension. It's absolutely crazy. There's so much going on in here. It gives you that incredible 3-dimensional look that we all adore about decoupage. It just brings these images to life. We've got the barbecue in here as well. Our favourite time of the year is barbecue year. I love it. We didn't have did we have a barbecue last year? We didn't have a barbecue last year, but our friends donated because they got a new barbecue for their wedding, because they had a really cool summer garden wedding, so they donated us their barbecue. So I'm so excited for this summer to get that out and have sort of like barbecue teas on that one. But there's so many layers on this one. You've got sort of like all the meat as well up here. You can see all of that is decoupage, so it literally comes out of the page at you. Again, a really fun base layer here, because we can be fussy cutting into this one and layering up like this wonderful card here that has that detailing on, and then all that dimension within there. It's absolutely amazing. You've got that accent foiling on all your layers, so if you don't want to use them, we don't have to. We can be saving up layers, making more cards out of this one. Kat's favourite,
Yay!
the rugby. This one's really cool. I mean, the way that this, with that stance and sort of like the inaction play has been created into decoupage, is a really, really clever. Your sentiment on this one is, here's hoping you have a tremendous day. So we're really fitting in with the themes there, but there's so much dimension within this one. I absolutely love it. It's been made into a really nice fun fold here, but look at how they just absolutely stand off. It is quite incredible, the detailing that we've got in this one. Again, your base layer is really, really nice with those corner edges. It gives you so much opportunity for the different types of cards you can be making. We've got racehorsing coming up next. Now I think this is a really cool theme actually, to have been included in this one. It makes the collection that we've got here really diverse, and there's some other ones coming up as well that match that. So many sentiments on here. You've got two little border strips, you've got those corner edges as well to go around this one, and it says, wishing you the best of luck, you're my number one, and celebrate it's your special day. Your base layers, again, jam-packed full on this sheet, your elements to layer up onto those layers, and this one gives the effect that these horses are actually just charging over that gate there. It's really fantastic. There's some great ways in which we can be using this cardstock as well. I mean, you could be making diorama cards with this one. Again, fold backs, or those Z fold cards with that nice sort of gate there at the bottom. Loads of different ways we can be crafting here. Then we've got skateboarding included. Again, another theme that works really well with sort of like younger audiences. This one's really fun in that gorgeous art shape. It's absolutely incredible, the different styles of cards that have been made with this set. I just love it. Again, your accent foiling on everything, so if we want to mix and match while we're placing these elements, we absolutely can do. And then your cardstock again has a really cool scene in the background there, and then that image just over to the side there, so we can be again creating fold backs, we can be cutting into this, we could be creating bows for the fronts of our cards, and then having sort of like the image within the within acetate, or you could be using
Funny you should say that.
really?
Natalie.
Or you'd be using your dome shaped cards. Jane, that now this is what we're talking about with this cardstock. Look how clever this is that Jane has created. So she's used the cardstock to create a stepper, so she's fussy cut out that panel we were just talking about so she could layer that up, and then you've got that main image. That is absolutely, that's really, really clever. I just, it's incredible how creative you can be. Then you've got the beautiful shed image here with the little pooch hiding away as well. This one's great. We've got take time for yourself, birthday wishes, relax and unwind, you deserve it today. Really, really sweet imagery in here, and this one again can make some really fun shaped cards with all the detailing that you have, and another fantastic piece of cardstock which you can layer up onto as well. Then we've got fishing in here, so such a vast mix which I absolutely love. Look at that gold foiling within there, it's just beautiful. So much detail within this as well has been captured with the sort of like little you've got the shoes there, and the flask for sort of like the brews. It's really, really quite clever, and it tells such a great story having all of those little elements within there. And then this is your decollage fully made up, looking absolutely spectacular on that card, and such a great way to utilize the cardstock that you've got there, just layering it on top of each other to create some beautiful mats and layers. I really love sort of that ripped edge as well that we've got detailing both sides 2 more to go for you. Next up we have your golf. We were trying to guess what golfer this could possibly be. We didn't get very far.
Because it's only Natalie that knows
It
golfers.
was only me that knows golfers. I do love a bit of golf actually. But we've got just for you, you are terrific and have a perfect day. Very, very punny this one. You've got a beautiful shape on this one too with that rectangular fancy edge. But this one you can be layering up again onto your cardstock, and that looks fantastic. So we can leave our base layer as a whole topper to create more cards. This one's beautiful that Rachel's made, just trimming that off, creating that beautiful card. Look at that landscape that we've got there. That's so beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous designs throughout this. And then finally, it's coming around soon. We've got about a month to go, I think, if I'm correct. It's Wimbledon. Isn't it? So you've got this fantastic tennis scene here. Absolutely incredible. Even the shadowing of the guy just underneath the net there, that artwork is insane. Your element sheets again, and then your base layers for this one are absolutely smashing. Look at this design as well. I think having an oval just matches this so perfectly, and there's some great ways in which you can use that. But that is your Deco-Large collection. It is $29.99. Includes 12. Oh yes, it makes 12 Deco-Large sheets, but you get 2 of everything there, which means you're going to be able to make 24. That's why I was a little bit confused there. So 12 full sets, but you're going to be able to make 2 of each of everything that you get included in there. I always like to say that if you really push yourself with these, you can make 3 out of all the different designs by using sort of like just a base layer, by using a topper, by using a base layer as sort of like a topper, by placing all of your elements onto a piece of the cardstock. So I like to say that you can make 3 cards out of that, but that is being very, very tricksy with it. But for $29.99, when we look at the price of that bundle, for just an extra £10 on that price, you can be getting this full collection. And now if you're a Diamond member, look at that, £35. That's just an extra £6 over the price of this Deco-Large collection to have everything, and that little book and the beautiful inserts. But that's enough of my waffling. You want to see some card making, that's what you're really here for. So Kat, over to you.
Let's go. I'm so excited about this. So I am going to be using this absolutely fabulous, totally awesome Deco-Large, the skateboard one, because I don't think we've done anything like this before, have we?
I don't think so. I was trying to think.
It's so fun and fresh.
I was trying to think of like occasions where that we have included in kits before, that we haven't, but I think this one is the most versatile with the themes that we've got included.
Definitely. So I'm going to be doing a 6x6 card, and like Natalie said, I'm going to do like an acetate dome front on it. But I'm doing it slightly differently to go keep in with the theme of like the skateboarding and making it more of a slope than thing. So we'll get going. I've done my 6 and 6 gold layer there, and I'm going to concentrate on this side of the card so we can keep this for something else. So like Natalie said before, stretching it to that 3rd, and I think in some cases even 4, depending how frugal you are. So we're going to cut this to 3 notches under the 6 in both directions.
Well, I reckon 3 definitely if we're just talking about making cards with like our Deco-Large collection. But if we're going to bring in our little book, then absolutely we can be making more than sort of like, I'd say 6 cards with like one design, if you're going to do it like that.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm going to take, I've got a piece of acetate here, I'm going to take it down to 6 inches, so when you've got it this way tall, so it's the same height, same width as the card, and then we're going to cut it to 9 inches, and then I'm going to transfer it onto my scoreboard, and hopefully I can remember where my score lines go. So what I want to do, I want to create it so it's like a slope effect, so it's thinner at the top than it is at the bottom, to kind of go in with the steps that are on there, and that it's just a common shape that I think of when I think at scoreboarding. So the first thing, skateboarding's a whole new thing.
Maybe we should make that a sport.
So what I'm going to start by doing is we're going to do an inch at the top, sorry, half an inch at the top and half an inch at the bottom, and this is just going to be the flaps that we bend over and stick down behind our card. And then I'm going to come in another half an inch at the top, so that's one there, and then from the bottom this time I'm going to come in an inch and a half, so that's 1 inch and that's a half. So effectively I have scored at half an inch, 1 inch, 7 inches and 8.5 inches.
Okay. This is going to look cool.
Let's hope so.
Lots of people are loving this Deco-Large. Carol says, I love Deco-Large. It is my all-time favourite. I think it's a lot of people's favourites. It just gives you such a great look on your card making. We've been asked a lot if we can do some more sports for ladies too. I think that's definitely something we need to push for, isn't it? But it's really difficult, I think, when it comes to sports and things like that, because lots of people want cards making for men, but then lots of people want lady sports things. So we do need to find a good balance, I feel. So I'll mention it to Jen and Al. Don't worry, I'll let them know we want some women's sports stuff.
I wonder if there was some way that we could do like a base collection that includes the sport, and then you have your additional figures that you could add in. You know, like
that would be cool.
So you could choose whether you put a male or a female on it.
We should definitely do that.
Right, I'm just gonna. My trimmer at home when I was cutting this yesterday is absolutely, the blade is absolutely on its last leg, so I'm just gonna give that a little trim there. So we're going to start just by putting the top down. I'm not going to fasten the bottom into place yet, just so I can make sure that I get all my layers in the right place. So let's get some tape here.
Jackie says this collection looks awesome. Lots of comments about the rugby card, so I can show you that again in a little while. If you do go onto the hub though, there will be a gallery up there with the card models from this collection on, so you'll be able to maybe spot it in that one as well.
Ooh. I think somebody's been pilfering my box. I've got nothing in here.
What do you need?
I've got one here. It's all right. I've no tool. I've no pokey tool. I've no craft knife.
Oh no. You need a craft knife.
Oh, we do. So I'm just going to stick this on the back, and the way I like to do this is just put it up from underneath, and then I can make sure. But I'm not going to stick that bottom down yet. I have taken the back off by mistake, but I'll just have to be careful. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my first layer, and I have gone and I've already added my foam pads to all these, but my first layer I have not, because I'm going to put this on the inside of the
oh, that's clever. A very clever way of making up your decollage on acetate and being able to hide the workings is to do this trick that Kat's going to do now.
I think it also really helps with the effect of the card as well, makes it look like it's more seamless.
Gives it a great sense of dimension, doesn't it?
It does. So if what we're going to do, which we don't normally do, because I know all this bit's going to be covered later on, I'm just going to add some tape just to the bits that I know we're going to be covering up with other foam pads.
Now if you didn't know where it was going to land, you could always pull off the next layer, can't you, and use that as a guide.
You can.
So you can eye it up as where you want to add those bits and pieces.
So now I'm going to decide where I want this in here, and then we can just bring it up to the back, and I think we'll go this kind of side, and then press it down, and then we can start to build our acetate on top. I'm just going to stick this down well now I've got that on, because it's easy to do that, and you can see this kind of slope effect that we've got at the front rather than
really
just
cool.
a normal.
Yeah.
So let's just carry on building up these base layers. Hopefully they'll come up nice and quick for me today.
There's some great detailing within this collection. It's a very, very fun sheet. And again, one where you can really utilise all the different pieces that you get. You could use sort of like just the skateboarder as like an element on top of like a little book page if you wanted to.
That's it. There's so, like you said, there's so many like additional elements with it as well that you can really build this up into a bigger scene if you want to. But we're just going through, taking off those foam pads, adding them all on, and just keep going all the way to the top. What I really like about this one as well is that you've got, because you like skateboarder and everything is separate, that you've got a real cool possibility of what you could do with things. You could even have him like coming upside down doing like a funky trick or something like that. Cool. So many things you can do. So we're just building up these layers, and I love it when it gets to this part and you get to the bits that just sit on top. They're so fun. Right, so it's working out which is my main one. And we'll get him in there. So we can just have him, should we have him that way, jumping off the top there.
So much dimension on this now. It's really coming to life with all of those different elements that you're adding on as well. It's a great, and you've not used any base layers, so you've still got those available.
And I've not used that.
The tiniest little piece of cardstock, really.
So I could easily make 4 cards with this one because I've 2 base layers left. If I did one just without any decoupage on, because it's still absolutely stunning like that.
Yeah.
And then spread my other decollage between both of them. That's 4 cards included.
That's
this one.
crazy, isn't it? The way that you can, the way you can think and really sort of like expand your ability to create so many cards with these collections.
Right, I'm not going to go all out now. Let's just add a couple more pieces on because we've got the great card samples so you can see them all fully built up. But there's more you could add on there. I'm just going to take out my sentiment. Let's go over to the base layer sheet so I can get that sentiment out of there. And that's it, because you're going to get 4 sentiments as well, aren't you? Because you get the 2 happy birthdays on there and the totally awesome here. So you've got 4 sentiments as well. It's all coming together.
And maybe you want to personalise your cards. You could be using our relative size.
Yes.
Or Moonstone minis. Cutting those out of our Coordinating the Durable Scorable that we've got coming up. So much room for being able to create a number of cards with this one.
So let's pop this in the background here. We'll go totally awesome. And then we'll just pop this one down in this bottom corner.
So cool that you've got that sort of shape that you've created there on this one.
It's just nice being able to play around and just do different things like that with them.
It looks really good.
Do that. Give my scores a nice fold just so we get that into shape. We'll get this really cool acetate dome fronted card, but just with that little twist of something different.
It's very cool. It gives it so much more sort of like shape and dimension, especially with the sort of feel that we have with that one. It's very, very clever. Thank you, Kat.
You're welcome.
Okay, so let's have a look at some of the bits and pieces you can be buying along to go with this. First up, we have our beautiful inserts, 36 included here. So we've gone and we have muted down those beautiful imagery from the cardstock, so you just have sort of like the corner pieces, or maybe that little background border strip within it. And we have got one insert for each of those collections. You're going to get 3 of each though, and remember, we can cut into these as well, so we can really stretch these out to go through all of the cards that we are making. £9.99 if you want to get this, or you can get it included in that bundle price as well, which is going to save you the most amount of money. But beautifully watermarked images on here that just make from the outside to the inside are going to make your cards look so professional. So we've got that for you. You can grab your hands on those. And then we also have our amazing little book. Now I'm just going to pop these over there so I can show you this. So this imagery has been sort of shared out between these little books. Again, as always, you're going to get 24 designs in here. You're going to get 6 of each, and I just love the little books for how different the images look and how sort of focused and zoomed in on certain elements they can be. We've got some beautiful border strips on these ones as well. We've got the rugby one there. We've got the golf one for you as well. It's a great way of being able to maximise your card making. Like me and Kat were saying, you could be using these with sort of little scraps of cards that you've got, or maybe some of the adorable scribble that we've got coming up for you. We've got different sort of angles as well. So this one is on the landscape again as well, with your tennis image there. You've got beautiful sort of frame borders on some of these as well. They are really lovely. We've got that nice sort of image there that's zoomed in of that dog walker. Look at this one. This one has the dog in it. Now I don't think you see the dog in the other bit, do you? I've only just realised the dog sort of cut off the actual decoupage, so he's in there as well now on that one. That's cute. We've got that skateboarder again, and the wonderful cricket image. You've got the fantastic artwork here with those racehorses, and these are great to be able to layer up, create your own decoupage with as well. A little colour change of the shirt there, and then we've got that larger image as well. We've got sort of just one of the footballers on his own, and then I love this horse racing one. I love the fact that you can cut it out and keep that frame in and make sort of like nice apertures with it. And then we've also got the sleepy man in the shed. I'd love to know what he was getting up to there, maybe waiting for his crops to grow. Sports and Hobbies little book, 144 pages, so many designs and different ways that we can be using our little books as well. £9.99, or you can potentially class this bit as the free bit in your ultimate collection, or maybe it's the inserts that we're going to class as free, but you're going to save £10 if you get that whole collection together. Let's have a look at some more cards, and then we're going to go back over to Kat. This one utilises both of that image on the cardstock and on your layer there, but I'm just gobsmacked with how much dimension you have in this one. I think this is a great card that Bex has made, creating this image that Kat's just used into a lovely little easel. We've got a really fun cat flap here, really nice with all of those different sentiments on there. Of course we can be stretching those out between the other ones. We've got another one of those rugby ones, just using that decollage onto the cardstock, so creating a completely different look with that one. We've got a little fold back here with the fishing element on there. Look at how those pieces at the back just stand away from that image. It's amazing. We've got the wonderful football one again, using both of those border strips in there to create a really fun card. And then this one's really cool. It's a little gatefold, but it's got that gorgeous image in the middle, and then it's going to open up and your insert's going to fit beautifully within that. I love the way that one looks. And then just for the people who wanted to have a look at that rugby card again. It's actually one of our fancy fold designs that we have in our new fancy fold selection. So if we turn it over to the back, you might be able to understand how that sort of goes together there. So it's just a fold that the topper is sort of sat on top of, so that hopefully will allow you to see how that one's been put together. Some fantastic card makes there by the team though. Kat, are you ready for another one?
I am ready for another one.
What are we doing this time?
This time we are going to do the beautiful barbecue, and we're going to bring our little books and some adorable scoreable in and mix and match them into our collection. So I've got my 8x8 and I'm cutting it to an 8x6 tent fold because I've got to get my daily dose of that. Then I've done 2 matte layers. I've got an 8x6 and a 7x5. I'm going to take some black adorable scoreable that you can find in the adorable scoreable selection.
We're going to show you that next.
And I'm going to take this to 3 notches under the 6 by 3 notches under the 8. And then we're going to go to our cardstock, and I'm going to concentrate on this bit here, and we'll do this to 3 notches under the 5 by 3 notches under the 7.
That perfectly fits in there.
And we can layer these up. So this is a great card if you have, like we were saying, if you have gone through and you've used most of your collection, but you sat there with your little book and you want to use up some of your scraps, and doing it that way. So I did have one. Where's it gone? There we go.
So many people already ordered this collection. Loads of love coming in. This collection is brilliant. I can't wait to get it, says Carol. I've already ordered the collection, says Janie. I think my budget's going to go out of the window. What fabulous cards, such incredible inspiration. There, Michelle says the designs are just off the wall. It's just fantastic. It is an absolutely phenomenal collection. The dimension that you get when you build all these layers up is crazy. There's very little space left on every single sheet. Now, if you want to be really clever, you could be using that design on those sheets and creating borders from them.
Yes.
That way you can make backgrounds when you're sort of running low on stash to be able to put your little books on, or maybe some of those smaller elements. So there's lots of different ways we can use sort of like the wastage from these kits as well to be able to make even more from these crazy, amazing collections.
So we are just going to pop that on there. Then I'm going to this layer on foam pads just to give us a little bit of depth. I definitely need to stock up.
I know, I was going to say, you're very low on all your foam pads there,
Very
Kat.
low. So let's just bob one in the middle and 2 at the bottom. I have just got, sorry if I'm going off topic, but I'm not, it's foam pads to be fair, from some new drawers for storing my foam pads and my taping, you know, from when I'm working at home.
Yeah.
Just like little clear drawers that pull out so I can just bring out what I need while I'm working and putting away without making a big mess. I might have to invest for some for the office as well. So we bob that on there. And then what I've done is I've taken the barbecue little book page and I've gone in with my rectangle nesting dies.
Oh, this is
and I've
gonna look cool.
laid them all out. So we can get that kind of pyramage effect. So we're still getting that kind of dimension on our card, just but in a slightly different way. And as we know, there's so many different things we can do with our little books. So I'm going to pop that down on there. And this should cut through lovely enough because it's that paper. Bring our Gemini in.
Do you know what other elements are going to work amazingly with this collection, Kat? are brand new on the Edge sentiments.
They are, aren't they? Absolutely fabulous.
Oh,
because we can officially use them now.
We can officially use them. You can take them out of that don't use pile.
So excited. I think that has to be one of the very few negatives about working here, is when we know we've got something fabulous coming that we're going to use in our everyday crafting, but we can't use it just yet. We've got to wait.
This is a fun question. This says, how many cards do you make in a day, or are you mainly designing? It depends really what we have coming up, but how many cards do you reckon you can make a day here, Kat?
Well, like you said, it all depends what we're on. If you have got a full 8 hours and a topper set,
yeah,
I've known, like when we've done our big Christmas rushes and stuff, I know I've got 17, 18 done in a day.
Yeah.
If you've got dies and stamps, obviously they can take a lot longer, so you can drop down to like 4 or 5.
Yeah,
you know, it all depends.
Can be a lot more time consuming, especially when it comes to sort of colouring in elements. But yeah, I think with topper collections, we probably, I mean, across the whole board, we'll make more than 10 or 12 each a day. There are some people who are a lot more quicker than others. Jane, our amazing Jane, wow, she is the most incredible card maker, and she is lightning fast. She is crazy. I think we're talking about Jane. She could probably make 20 cards in a day with some of our collections. She is super speedy.
Like I said, and it just depends how detailed you're being as well, and what kind of cards and stuff. And sometimes it can just be the mood you're in. Some days the ideas just come to you, and some days you just have to think about it a bit more.
Makes you think like, oh, I know what I can do with my next one, and then you go into it. Other days you can
have more that go in the bin.
Down days, and you just don't have any that you sort of really know what you wanting to create with them. I've had a lot of couple of days recently. Yesterday was one of them where I just can't stick anything straight. It's always just the tiniest bit wonky, and is really unobvious to most people, but I just know that I can't keep that there. I cannot leave that the way it is.
So we're just gonna gently find the middle. Just be very careful when you're doing this with your little book pages, because they are paper, they will want to stretch. So instead of building it up fully pyramid, I'm just going to do one up, one down. So I'll put my next layer on flat.
Carol says, do you ever get brain freeze and don't get many cards done?
Yes, 100%.
Definitely.
And the weird thing is as well, I mean, I say this quite a bit, it can be on collections I've been really, really looking forward to. So I'll know something's in the works, and I'll be like, oh wow, I can't wait to work on that. And then I get it, and I'm like,
what am I supposed to do with this one?
It's so weird, isn't it?
And it sounds very strange as well, but sometimes the most sort of like simplest of card collections can be sometimes quite difficult. I can often struggle with, say, sort of like our decoupage toppers or pyramage toppers, things where you don't have sort of like base layers. I can struggle with what complementary items that I have to work with that I can put together. So that's sometimes a challenge as well. I think it's definitely a lot easier when we've got huge collections like this one. I mean, I loved making cards with this collection. It was so, once I'd got all my layers put together, the cards I was making just came together so quickly, because the shapes that you've got, there's always designs in your head that you know work best with certain base layers and topper shapes, so you can pull to those ones, and you've got everything you need. Everything works so perfectly together.
It does.
There's a collection coming up that we've been working on recently, Kat, and I think that's a collection where you just want to use absolutely everything we've got.
Yeah.
It all works so beautifully together, and it's definitely been a dream to craft cards with.
So we're just building these up. So I've just gone one up, one down.
I like that.
And that just makes it a little bit easier as well when you're coming to sticking sentiments on and stuff. If you do it full pyramage,
Yeah,
when you've got to then try and place a sentiment, it can be a bit difficult. So I'm just bringing in these, and I'm going to pinch the sentiments out of them. I'm just going to keep it really simple, and I think we'll bob this across the bottom here. And you're getting all this just from one little book page as well, remember, you're getting that dimension, you're not cutting in. So we'll just do that and keep it really, really simple.
That's very nice. Such a clever technique as well of using your nesting dies with those little books. I think it's something that we often don't necessarily think about with our little books, is using your nesting dies and doing fun shapes like this, but that one is quite incredible. Thank you, Kat.
You're welcome.
Another incredible card. Now, Kat used some adorable scoreable within that collection, and I've got it here for you. This is our coordinating adorable scoreable 350 GSM. We've got 12 sheets in here because we just could not narrow this one down. There's so many incredible colours that are going to work perfectly. So we have your holly green, we've got the navy, we have your midnight black, the beautiful dove grey, love that colour, our warm cinnamon, we have the beautiful coffee bean. All of these colours as well, you can see how they're going to work with this collection. Our baby blue, the sky blue, the gorgeous amethyst, very, very regal, that purple, our berry red, and our ivory and lime. So 12 colours within that one, and every single colour we have here, you can see how perfectly it's going to work with the football card, with the gardening card. It's just a match made in heaven. The colours have been so well thought out with that one. £9.99 if you want to add that in as well. And then we have two other items which we sometimes are in stock, sometimes they're not in stock, but they work perfectly with Deco-Large. So the first one we're going to look at is our box frames. So let's have a look at that one. You're going to get squares and rectangles included in this. They're 6x6 or 5x7, and they're so perfect to go alongside them. You get these beautiful toppers. We've got them in gold and silver as well. So you get the frames for your box frames. You get the wonderful stands. So many sentiments included in there as well, and then you get the sort of like mechanism back pieces to make up your actual box frames as well. So they're great to work with Deco-Large or any cards that have any dimension on. So maybe your decoupage books or your decoupage toppers like we were talking about. Anything you don't want to get damaged, perfectly fit within those. And I'm trying to think how many you get to make in here. I think you get to make 12, don't you? 12 full ones. So you've got 6 gold. No, you've got 6 square, 6 silver, and you get 3 each in gold and silver. So 3 of each all together. That was some good maths from me there. And then we have to go alongside these, because you can work them with them as well, is our handmade square and rectangle boxes. So these are our like box envelopes, super easy to put together. Anne-Marie showed you how to make these up on Hobby Maker yesterday, so if you want more inspiration you can watch that show back and see exactly how these were put together. But this is really incredible, because 12 card boxes. So if you're buying these and you're going to get these incredible box frames at the same time, then you might as well go for a multi-buy, because you're going to save so much money on this one. I can't believe the price either. £16.98. It's going to save you £5 if you want to get them both together, and they work together so well as well. So have a little look at that one. But today's all about our incredible Sports and Hobbies Deco-Large Collection. It's our second Deco-Large collection of the year, and we think it is absolutely incredible for this time of year. It features 12 amazingly thought out designs that are all so different from one another. And there's so many different ages that we can be sending this one to. There's so many different people that we know in our families that are going to absolutely love all of the 12 images we've got in here. You guys are loving it. We absolutely love it as well. We're going to go to Kat for another demo, but before we do, let's have a look at our Win It Weekly prize. We've already given you the answer away, and you've already seen so many people commenting it, but this week we're giving you the chance to win our incredible Brush Markers Original Collection. That's where you get the 48 pens and your incredible handbook. And the question we're asking you is, what is the official dish of the King's coronation? A, quiche, B, cake, or C, curry? You can find the answer to that question on both today's show and yesterday's show, because we're just telling you, we're just letting you know, because this prize is so good. Right, Kat, back over to you for our final demonstration.
And I've got to go with the rugby.
Of course you do.
Of course I do.
I'm quite shocked that it's taken this long for you to make the rugby card, actually.
So I've got a 7-inch card, and I'm cutting it down to 7x5 tenfold, and we're going to do one of those kind of reverse easels. I've not done one for a while on here, so I thought we'd pull that out the bag again. So just trim that down there. And then all you need to do is take your front cover, fold that into the score line. You could do this on your board by scoring at 3.5, but it's just as easy to do that. And then, how do I do it?
So you do it the other way. So fold it
like that, yes.
Yeah.
Just had a moment, so it's going to sit like that.
You do it the reverse, the way you would normally do it.
It is. And then we sit this bit here. I get it now. So let's bring in. I've done my mat and layers already. So you're going to need 2 3.5s by 5 and a 7x5.
I think this is a really nice way, especially when you have a card stock like this that's got a lot of detailing on it. A really clever way of being able to use all of those elements. Yeah. Because you could just cut this into a 5x7, but you've got that corner piece that's come away, and if you're wanting to make the most out of a card, then trimming that away and adding it on is you're just gonna end up using loads more than you wanted to and having quite a bit of waste, actually.
So we'll cut this down to 3 notches under the 5 by 3 notches under the 7, and then I'm hoping, if I'm clever, I can get, let's do 3.5, 3 notches under 3.5 this way.
You know what, Kat?
You what?
Are you going to be able to?
Well, I worked it out, and then I forgot how I did it.
I think you're going to be able to do that, you know.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I think if I do it this way. Let's try. We might just have a little bit of the image on here, but that's absolutely fine. 3.5 by 5 is one of them. And then hopefully this will be just under. And then 3.5 this way. There we go. We've just got tiny little bits, but you're not going to notice.
And you're going to be able to use that little element as well. You can
Absolutely.
lay that up with some adorable scoreable.
Yeah.
Pop some of your elements on. Another card.
Yeah, you could do a really cute like 5x5 or something.
Because if you're matting and layering that onto some adorable scoreable, it doesn't necessarily matter that we've cut off a tiny little bit of a leg or a head, because you're going to lay your decoupage over the top. So it's going to hide all of those sort of little pieces that you might think are going to make that card not look as good. It's a great way of utilising little bits and pieces. It really is.
And sometimes I really like that when it's coming over the image,
off the page,
coming off the image and over the image.
It looks really like they're just like coming away from the card, doesn't it?
It gives it a little bit more movement. It's
very clever.
So we're just going to layer this down, and the reason I've had to do those pieces is because we're going to have a bit under here and a bit on the top. So we'll pop these down.
It's a really cool card shape, actually.
It's fun, isn't it? Once you've got the right kind of kit to do it with. So because we've got a nice big chunky base on this one, because I'm going to be building it onto the base layer, we can use that kind of as our main element. If you've got something that's smaller, all you need to do is cut another bit of cardstock,
Yeah.
and have that coming down. Just mat and layer either your adorable scoreable or what you get in your collection, and do it that way, and then you can pop a smaller topper on it if you want to. It's just about playing around and making it work for you. So then we're going to pop these onto here. Now the trick is when you're putting these down is making sure that you don't go too far to that score line, otherwise you're just gonna, it's going to be difficult to fold back up and close and stuff. So we're just going to make sure we can still see a little bit of that score line, but you're going to have so much prettiness going on that you're not going to notice that there's a little bit of white showing through there.
I mean, when it folds, you won't be able to see it anyway.
No. Pop that down, line everything up, and then we have got the basis for our card. So if we move over to our elements, so we're going to take this lovely big base layer here, and I'm just going to snip the pips off these ones because
It's a great shape, this one.
it's fab, isn't it?
Yeah, I really, really like the shape that you get in here. Susan's asked, would other blades go in the Hunky Dory paper trimmer? You know, we've never actually looked into that, if other ones would work. It might be something you want to try. You might want to hold on though. Not too long to wait now until we did have a delay. There has been a delay, which we're all really sad about. Cannot explain to you how sad it made us when we found out that news. But it's still only, can we say less than a month? Are we allowed to say that, Emily? Less than a month. Less than a month.
And what, can I tell you my little top tip that I used yesterday? And
Go
I've done it
for
in the
it.
office as well. If you get a little bit of tin foil
Oh yeah.
and do a few little cuts on some tin foil, I'm not going to pretend it's going to bring it back to brand new. It's not, but it will give you a little bit more life in it.
Get you to that time.
Yeah.
It's going to be so busy the day that they come back in. I hope everyone is ready. The office is going to be closed. Dan's going to have us all out picking and packing, sending trimmer blades out. Michelle says, will there be any left once the creative team have raided all the blades?
Well, that's a good point.
We're going to be hiding some, don't you worry.
So
We're not letting this happen again.
I think we'll go middle with this one. What do you think?
Oh, that looks good.
And I'm going to, because I want that instant grab while I'm showing it on here, I am going to go with tape because I've not got that dry time. And I love doing cards like this because they're so simple. You're just using your card blank stash that you've got, but you're creating something that you're not going to find in a card shop.
No.
People are going to know just by the shape of it that, see my mat and layers moving about there, that you've put time and effort into it just by looking at it. And look at the depth and the
It's crazy.
everything. Everyone's going to know. So let's take these beautiful strips out, and I absolutely love these ones.
So
And I
much.
love a little bit of red and white on a rugby player as well. We'll take that.
I can't believe how much detail is in some of these border strips as well.
I know, it's
They're
madness,
quite
isn't
incredible.
it?
I mean, in the fishing one, you've got like little fish, which is crazy. We've got like sentiments in some of them, happy birthday. The elements that we've got, like the cricket one's got the wicket and the ball into a pattern. They're really, really cleverly put together. We have got an absolutely awesome set of designers here, haven't we? that make these kits for us.
100%. So much detail goes into them. So we're just cutting these down to 3 notches under the 5 because we know that's the same length as our base layer cardstock. And I think we'll put this one down flat, and then we'll put the, what does that say on there? Just for you on a foam pad.
And is that going to be your stopper then?
It is, yeah.
These ones are really clever, I think, because they hold, the way that the card folds and holds itself, it does sit really nicely. Like with your sort of normal easel, it sort of tends to push forwards, but with this one and the way that you've folded that cardstock, it doesn't do that the same with the topper.
No. So pop that there. I've just dropped my sentiment, so just let me grab that, because I absolutely love this one. I think you're scrummy.
It is.
So cute.
The puns are, as always, incredibly clever.
And then let's just go, here's hoping your day is tremendous. Couple more foam pads. And we're nearly done. And we'll just pop this at the bottom, layer that all up, and there we go. And that will just sit.
How clever is that? Such a really nice shape for this sort of image as well. It works really, really well.
It does, doesn't it? Because it gives you that feeling of it, the pitch coming back and stuff.
Absolutely incredible. Thank you, Kat.
You're
absolutely
welcome.
Amazing cards that have been made today. So much love in the comments for the cards, for this collection. Brilliant cards, so much depth in these decollage designs. Thanks for a great show. You're welcome. Lots and lots of love though for Kat's incredible card. Super card, Kat. Another fab card. Another awesome card. Another great card, Kat. Michelle says, wow, that is so lovely. Thank you all so much for joining us this Wednesday morning. We've had an epic time. We're glad you all have too. What's important to tell you? Ooh, you're cordially invited to a royal reception with Dan and Anne-Marie tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. as they introduce you to our king size offers. There better be some good offers there, Emily. King size. Whew. How can he get any better than he normally gets? Have you seen the prices? Are they insane?
I have seen the prices.
Is it worrying? It's shocking, isn't it? Emily's confirmed prices tomorrow. Shocking. Make sure you're here. And then tomorrow I'm going to be down at Hobby Maker. I've got a full day down there. I'm going to be there at 2 p.m. with our brand new duo design paper pads. At 4 p.m. we've got an incredible For the Love of Mask range. So if you're a lover of stamping and messy crafting, you're going to love that. Make sure you're tuning because it's going to be busy. And at 6 p.m. we're going to have another look at this decollage collection, which I'm super excited to get into because I've made a few cards, but didn't make that much with this one, so very excited for that. So see you all tomorrow, no matter where you may be. Have a lovely rest of your day. We will see you again soon.